In today's video, we're going to look at how my team went in rounds 6 and 7 of the 2022 AFL Supercoach season. Hope you enjoy. So, rounds 6 and 7 have finished. Sorry I haven't had any uploads recently. Been a bit busy with life and everything else, but definitely getting back on track. If you guys haven't seen the video I just did on Jack Carroll, talking about him as a rookie in the next couple of weeks, definitely check that out. It's worth having a look. And I had Pommy and Oz on the channel, so it's really, really good. Nice guy, definitely have a look. In today's video, we're just going to have a look at my team, how it went in round 6 and 7, and look at some different upgrade options that I think you guys should definitely bring in. Then I'll do my trades for this week, at least 2 out of the 3 of them, and have a look at the VC and captain options. I am having a bit of a toy up at the moment of what to do with my boost. If I'm going to use it or not, I think I will, so I can double upgrade next week. But we'll see how we go. So this is how my team went in round 6. Round 6 definitely was a bad week for me. A lot of teams did really well. And as you guys saw from the thumbnail, Jack Macrae as your captain in the last 2 weeks has been terrible. But, we did all right this week. So round 6, we scored 21-31. Wasn't too bad, and we moved down 4,000 spots. The team value was almost $12 million, which happy to say that I have bumped that up a huge amount this week, which I'm really, really happy about. I did have something like 300k in the bank for this week, so that's probably why the team value's dropped a little bit. As you can see, I have done some monster trades that's boosted up the team. So round 6, we had Hayes out, we had Grundy out, and Cherry. This was the week where Rucks just died. I think Darcy was out, Hayes was out, Grundy was out, Cherry was out, Luke Jackson was out, and a couple others as well. We did have some good rookies come in, but carnage for everybody who didn't have Max Gawn, and I'm glad I had him. We almost traded him out a few weeks ago, but we're pretty happy we've got him now. We did bring in Hayes from Port as our R3, as you can see over here. And we brought in Oliver and Steele. So they did pretty well. Oliver had a massive score. Steele did all right, as we'll see from the round 7 game. I am looking to boost up the amount of premiums that I've got, and that's kind of what I'm aiming to do. So all my mid prices, a lot of our rookies that end up about 250k plus, they're on the chopping block. There isn't really anyone who I'm happy to keep for long term. There was Greg Clark, but health and safety protocols really hurt that for round 7. But what can you do? That's Supercoach, and cover is key. I didn't say it enough in the preseason, but players being out really, really sucks. As you can see, George Hewitt, I think, was out this week. This is the picture from heading into round 7. So George Hewitt was just out with an injury. If we didn't have cover for players like him, you'd end up feeling donuts, especially in the back line. As we'll see heading into round 7 and round 8, backline donuts really, really suck. But let's check out how the team went next week. So, heading into round 7. In round 7, boys, we had a monster score. And it would have made a lot better if I actually had Macrae as captain. As you saw from the thumbnail in round 6, 2 weeks in a row of sub 100 scores for your captain really, really sucks. I had something like 6 or 7 players that did monster scores, and Macrae was the worst one out of basically all of my premiums this week. I think Butters even outscored him, which is insane. We're happy with the 25.69, obviously, but it could have been 26 plus, and that would have shot us even further up the ranks. This week, I think, outside of round 2, is the first week where we've actually moved up in the ranks in the past, 5 or 6 weeks, which is really nice to see. We're now ranked 13,770, and hopefully we're going to jump up a lot higher coming into round 8. But this is how the team went. So if you remember before, the team value was about 12 million. So we've jumped up $600,000, which is really, really good for us. And we have used the trade boost, but this week we're going to use another one and end up on 20 trades. Total score of 15,861. So it's not too bad, top 8%. But the thing is, with scoring, and I've had a look, we're really, really close to probably about the top 1,000, or at least top 2,000, maybe 300 points away, which is really, really achievable. As our premium numbers grow and as our Uber premium numbers grow from guys like Oliver and Steele, the margin between us and top of the field is really going to shorten. We're going to end up having times where we'll have 6 or 7 Uber premiums on massive numbers. And similar in the backline as well. We're only about 4 rookies off from full premium after this week. And every week we're just going to keep churning them out. It's fantastic and I love it. But let's check out the team. And just before we get going, huge score from this guy this week. Huge score. You'd hate to be the guy that was number 2, but what can you do? Number 1, 28-33. Monster score. I think that's the largest score I've ever seen in Supercoach, at least before the second half of the season. Monster score. So, this is the team. This is our team heading into this week. Obviously, Hewitt has been injured. It's not been great. And he's actually out again this week, which really, really sucks. But as speaking to Pommy off air, and I posted in the Discord, I believe he's going to be back next week. And if Hewitt ends up being a pod because other people have traded him out, similar to a Cripps, you don't trade out premiums, especially when you've got cover and you're making upgrades in your team. So we hold. It might be the difference between getting a 77 and, say, a 110, but it's a lot better than having to trade someone out and then trade them back in again. Our backline are all playing, which is really nice, and we've got DeConning as cover. In our midfield, everyone is basically playing. The Brisbane West Coast game, obviously West Coast has been smashed by injuries, so they're getting a bit longer to actually name their teams. I think they're going to get a few more waffle players in, which makes Lockie Neal a really, really good option this week. And that's what we're going to do. He's going to be our captain option, or at least our vice captain this week. He should score about 300 against West Coast. And if you don't have him as captain, it's going to hurt. Jack Macrae is actually not a bad shout out this week, considering there's no Bontempelli. But, you know, we're not going to do it 3 weeks in a row and then end up crying again. A couple of our rookies are still playing, which is really good. Bruce and Gorn making a lot of money. Gorn not so much, but Bruce definitely. What was he, 200k 2 weeks ago, so 167k already. Hayes has done all right for himself. He really, really punished people who had him at R2, and I've been saying it all week. Don't pick Hayes and don't have him as R2. On the bench is fine. Bench cover's fine, cash cow's fine. But when you've got a first-year rookie basically on the field in a prominent position where he's coming up against Witts and Gorn and other people, it really sucks. So don't do it. Forward line as well is all playing. Not sure about Dixon yet because of the WA game, and Connor McDonald as well. So this week, like every other week we're going to start doing, is going to be about getting rid of cash from the bench and getting rid of rookies on field, because we need to hit premium as quick as we can. And picking up value options along the way. A couple of weeks ago, we grabbed Sicily at 500k. Worked out really well for us. Now he's our D2. This week, we're going to grab someone in a similar position. Scored really well last week, has a great position in his team, and he's looking to make us a lot of money. If not making money, keep him for the entire year. Midfielders in the forward line are fantastic, and we're going to pick one. So, my trades this week. We are going to get rid of Mr. Rochelle, and we're going to get Mr. Horn-Francis off the field. 2 rookies that have been really great servants for us this year, but it's the difference between getting a 40 or a 50 and getting 100 plus. And that's what we kind of want. We need to start bringing up our projected score each week. It isn't perfect. If you have a look at projected, guys like Tuke Miller scored a 170 odd last week. What did Tuke score last week? A 160. He was projected to have a 103 score last week and scored a 160. It isn't perfect. Rookies like Greg Clark are projected 100 plus. But as your premiums to rookie ratios goes up, it's a good measure of how much your team's improved. And overall this week, I'm going to improve my team by about 60 or 70 points. And that's fantastic for us for 2 trades. So, in the forward line, actually, let's do back line first. So, this week, we're going to bring in Robbie McComb. Bevo loves him. Bevo loves the mature age recruits. Loves the guys that have busted their guts in the VFL. I think Macomb was Dogs VFL captain. Bust their guts in these positions and then gives them an opportunity to play AFL. We've seen it with Anthony Scott. We saw it with McNeil last year, and Macomb's the same. 102k rookie is fantastic. And we only need 50s and 60s from him to actually start making a lot of money. And that's what he's going to do. So putting him in the midfield. Now, there's a couple of other rookies that are available. Paul Curtis is one of them. And he's a guy that I'm looking at bringing into my team. Maybe it means offloading a Hugh Dixon for him. We'll just wait and see for team sheets tomorrow. But I really want that extra cash this week. I need to double upgrade next week. And the money that it gives me allows me to do that with a trade boost next week. So that's what I'm trying to aim for. You should always have an objective with your trades. Like I've said, get rookies on field. But Supercoach is pretty fickle and you don't know what's going to happen next week. So having the extra money there in the bank allows you to do things that potentially you couldn't do with 1 or 2k. I know a lot of people got really stuck trying to bring in this player that I'm about to talk about in their teams this week. And having that extra 10, 15k in the bank really, really helps. So in saying that, I'm going to bring in Mr. Luke Parker in my forward line. So Luke Parker has not averaged less than 100 since 2018. He's a proven midfielder at Sydney, and with Kennedy slowing down, and he was even the rookie sub or the emergency sub a couple of weeks ago. He's really slowing down, and Parker's taking over that role. He's in that crucial kind of 28 to 31 age range where these midfielders really hit their prime, and he's going to score big most weeks. I don't have a lot of people in his buy round in my forward line, as opposed to some other people that might have an English, a Heaney, and a Dunkley already, and then you offload Parker in there. Makes it really tough, but right now we've only got 2 people. So the pick really works for us. Grab your value when you can, and that's what we're looking to do today. So Parker in the forward line. As you can see before, our projected was 2.338, and now it's 4.220. So it's not a perfect gauge, but it does help a lot. Let's hit out the optimize just to see kind of what they're thinking. Okay, so we're basically done what we're done. Let's have a look at the captain options for this week. So our captain options for this week. We do have a loophole for St Kilda, thanks to Mitchie Owens, which is fantastic. Let's put Lachie Neale back on field because they haven't actually put out the team sheet, so it doesn't know that he's playing. We've been burnt by Macrae. So there's no Bontempelli this week. Macrae as a vice-captain option looks really good. He should get a majority of that mid-time now without Bont in the team. And he's not going to get pushed out to the wing because they have to share with another person. Bailey Smith's also a really good shout this week if you've got the money and the spare trades, because I think he's actually going to do well. But maybe only has a week or 2 out, but it's something. So let's go. Owens on field for Macomb, emergency, and he's going to be our captain. So our vice captain can play any of the games that are over here. I know we've spoken about it before, and I'm going to be picking Lachie Neale vice captain. I don't think I've actually picked him as vice captain this year, but West Coast aren't going to tag. Nelson the tagger that kind of hurt Andy Brayshaw a few weeks ago, he's out with health and safety again. So there's not really a tagger there at West Coast to stop Lachie Neale. It's going to hurt. They're playing at the Gabba, and I'm expecting another 170 massive score. If you miss out on these scores, it can really hurt. And it can be the difference between you moving up in the ranks and you stagnating or moving back. There are a lot of people last week who had good scores. What I would consider to be good scores in like the 2450s. And because they missed out on their captain scores, because they missed out on maybe having a better rookie via a loophole, and they decided not to keep the other one, it really, really hurt. So, Lachie Neale, vice captain. We can wait until the Sunday, but if Lachie Neale doesn't work out, then we're going to go into Max Gawn or Oliver as our captains this score. But hopefully we don't have to. Cool. Hey guys, let me know how your team's going. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Chuck it down in the comments. And how did you guys go last week? I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Just remember, I'm Big J. Have a nice day. Bye.